So, just to preface with this video, my mic audio was up and down. It sounded like this and then like this at times. So, I apologize. It will be fixed for the next one, right, Ellie? But I apologize for your ears bleeding. Well, I don't have any statistics for you. Until later.
Until later.
That's
okay. We'll make it work.
We'll make it work. We'll be all right.
Nice signature, by the way.
Thank you. I'm trying. Well, welcome everybody back to another weekly podcast. Because why not? I am joined here with Xavier Abraham, the one and only.
The man, myth, the legend.
The greatest center to ever play. I keep saying fantasy.
Yeah, I always. It's the two F's, man. It's the flag football, fantasy football. It's all the same stuff, right?
You know, I'd have you on my fantasy flag football team.
I would too, honestly. I mean, I'm the greatest snapper of all time. Honestly, I mean, sorry, JD, but I mean, like, you're a good second.
He is a good. I mean,
I'm just kidding. All love to you, JD. I love you.
He did take my NIL from last year, saying I didn't play enough games. So I'm not sure.
You'll be all right.
Well, we're going to go straight through everything, and then we'll talk at the end. So just going through this past week's recap of Week 4. First slate, you got the Chargers over the Chiefs, 74-47. A little controversy with the score there at the last minute. I'm sure there will be a little more, but everybody at least knows who won. The Chargers advancing to 4-0. Chiefs dropping to 0-4, still looking for that first win. Then next game, you had the Oilers hosting the Ravens with a score of 18-43. The Ravens defense has actually allowed only 12 points and 18 points in the past 2 weeks. So keeping that top defensive slot, I believe, for the least amount of points scored so far. And then that game of the week, that 4:30 slot with the Patriots hosting the Texans. Patriots advancing to 3-1 with a score of 53-26, and Texans sadly dropping to 500. Dave, we can talk a little bit about this game. I mean, we were both a part of it.
Yeah,
since it was the game of the week. So what are your kind of initial thoughts?
I mean, it was definitely like a struggle for us to get going in the very first half. I just feel like we were able to drive the ball down the field. Like, I didn't think that was big of an issue, but when it came to like capitalizing on scoring, I feel like that's where we kind of dropped the ball.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, like, other than that, I mean, like, we fought back. We were down 31-6 at halftime. Got it within 5 in like the last 2 minutes. Literally had to make like one or two stops in order to win the game, but it just didn't go our way. So I don't really think that this score really shows how good of a game that this game was.
I mean, I remember talking to Josh because Josh was roughing our game along with Isaac. So I remember talking to him, and I mean, there was 2 minutes left, and we were down 31-26.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, obviously, just an unfortunate series of events. But I mean, that Patriots team, I know we talked about them the past couple of weeks. They're just a great team. I mean, with Kev and JMO, I mean, that was our goal to stop them too, which I think we held them to as much as we probably possibly could have.
Yeah, I mean,
but Clayton honestly was kind of thrown out there.
For sure. And then it didn't really start seeing any difference in their offense until we started sending a blitz at them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that definitely helped us out in our favor. So, yeah, for those people that are playing the patties, just blitz Clayton, and you might get a turnover or two every once in a while. So
well, he did tell me he's averaging 2 interceptions a game, which that held true in our game.
They really did.
I know I had one. I think Cole had one.
I
in the
almost
end.
had one. Well, almost doesn't count.
Almost doesn't count. No, but I mean, like I said, the Patriots team's really good, but they have a rough kind of schedule. They have a rough road ahead, I would say. I mean, they're still chilling in second place. If we go to the next screen here, still chilling in second place. All across the board. I mean, standings wise, you got not too much of shifting happening. So, Chargers still holding up that number 1 spot at 4-0. Patriots at 3-1, holding that second spot, and currently the ones holding the first round bye. But you have the Ravens not far behind, and then you have the Texans here at 2-2, kind of holding that last home playoff spot, and then the Oilers and Chiefs flipping spots for this week solely based on the point differential. That we'll get a little bit more into, but I mean, we had looking at the offensive standings here. I mean, you got 3 teams that have scored the same amount of points. Again, I think Corell might argue it.
I'm not gonna lie. That incomplete pass that they called, I think that was a touchdown. I ain't gonna lie. They could arguably have this 4th spot all by themselves.
Yeah.
But then again, I'm not the ref, so it doesn't matter what I think at the end of the day.
I was gonna say. I mean, you know how many times I was trying to bait for a call, didn't really work at all.
Oh, dude, all the time. I'm always throwing dollar bills at the refs.
I offered them so much money. Yeah. No, I mean, Chargers holding that top spot, 266 points this week, followed by the Patriots with 233. Ravens trailing just under that 200 mark with that 3rd place spot. So again, not much shifting here. Then you got the bottom 3 teams with 152 points all respectively. And I mean, I showed Clayton this picture of him. He did tell me he threw an interception on this. So I mean, I guess a little bit bad. No, but I had to give a shout out to him. He has been. I mean, all the games that I've seen, he's been dropping dimes and everything like that. So I mean,
yeah, for sure.
You know, when you got, I did look at their roster. All of them were above 6 foot. So I think that put us at a little disadvantage.
Yeah. Dude, that was one of the first things I realized about their team when that Charlie sent out the rosters. I was like looking through all the teams, and then the only thing I got out of it was I was looking at that Patty squad, and every single one of them, not one person under 6 foot. Yeah. Everyone's 6 foot or above. And I think we might have one person over 6 foot on the over on the Texan squad. So.
I mean, even when we were going against defense, like you said, going against their defense, like you said, we couldn't really finish a drive. Mm-hmm. We would drive a little bit, but I think there was always something. They would hold us to like a 4th and goal or something like that. So I mean, all of them were really skilled. All of them were really skilled and athletic, and just they were able to play any coverage on us. I know their main one was covered too, but I mean, they went man to man a good amount of times. And I mean, they blitz every so often. Yeah, like you said, they kind of faked us out at the end with that last interception, kind of that fake blitz drop back.
Yeah, that was a very good play because that ball was going straight to me, so I saw it all. Great play. I don't know who number 18 is for the Patriots, but you're a dog. Wait.
Preston,
you're a dog. I know that I was kind of making things a little hard on you throughout the game, and you told me to slow down a little bit. But, dude, you held your own. Great interception to end the game. I can't be mad about you.
I tried to negotiate with J-Mo run a couple 1-yard routes. Maybe next time. Looking at the defensive standings, is how the Ravens holding that top spot still. Like I said, they held, us in week 3. They held us to 12 points, and then holding the Oilers to 18 points.
Yeah.
They're pretty securely in that top spot, and I think they'll remain there for the rest of the season. But the Patriots with a close second, 162 points, followed by the Chargers, and then the Texans and Chiefs switching spots this week. So the Texans getting back up to that 4 spot, Chiefs dropping down to 5, and then the Oilers bringing it up with 266 points against them on the season so far in these 4 games. Nice little shot of Ryan there as well. That picture was an interception on us, I will say.
Oh, that's great. Love that.
I did mention with Xavier off the record that I think Ryan is leading the league in interceptions. I believe he at least has at least 1 or 2 a game. Mm-hmm. I could be wrong if someone wants to fact check me, but I am the official stat keeper. I'm going to say he's leading the league. For sure. Moving into teams, what their remaining schedule is like. So with the Chargers first, obviously, like I said, the only undefeated team remaining, which is pretty impressive. I mean, the least amount of points they've scored is 65. The first 2 games, followed up with a 67 and 74 performance. So technically, they're only trending up. Yeah. Defense isn't bad as well. I mean, holding teams to 36 points, especially in this league, especially the Ravens, how they've developed, amazing. So they have the second hardest strength of schedule remaining, playing the Patriots and the Texans upcoming. But like I said, like we told them before, all around great team. Like I said, I do have to give a shout out to Corbin. I think I owe him one. I did watch him eat a little bit during that game last week. He got on me for it. So
Yeah.
I do got to give him a shout out for it.
By the way, Corbin, Green Bay still sucks.
Moving on to our next team here, though, we got the Chiefs. Like I said, drop into that 0-4 spot. I think they're getting better. I do.
100%.
I think they're a great team. I mean, they were leading the Chargers at halftime.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember. I've heard conflicting reports about what the score was.
From what I saw, it looked like it was a 13-point lead at halftime.
Okay, I've heard anywhere from 3 to 13.
Yeah.
So.
And
Regardless, I mean, leading at halftime versus the technical best team in the league. I mean, they're definitely a scary team to want to have to play. I mean, they got a tough opponent.
They have a lot of great athletes on their team, and it's so shocking that this team has not won a game yet. And I'm honestly kind of rooting for them, especially if they're not playing us. So, I mean, like, if y'all can pull off an upset over the Ravens this weekend, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
So, let's make it happen.
I've talked about it before. I think they have a lot of athletes, but they have a lot of new guys as well.
Yeah, for sure.
They're still learning the rules and stuff, but I think they are finally putting it together. I think they were missing a few guys this past week, from at least from what I saw on the IR report that came out. But I mean, I think if they put it all together, they could sweep these last 2 weeks and kind of finish 2-4, at least on a high note.
Yeah.
And maybe move up in the rankings a little bit. But I mean, the technical fifth easiest, tied for fifth easiest remaining schedule. They are against the 3-1 Ravens, and then the battle of the unbeatens at the end. Yeah. Unbeatens. That's not the right word.
The beatens.
The beatens.
I guess. The unbeatens.
The unbeatens, which I hope they both do get wins. I think they are solid teams. Even when we get to the Oilers, we'll talk a little bit about them. But I think we have I know there's only 6 teams in the league, but I think every team is really well-rounded and at least
for sure
developing into what I guess their potential can be. But moving on to the Oilers, as I just said. Again, a little rough of a start, 0-4. Especially with this past week, scoring only 18 points to the Ravens, but we know how that feels like.
Yeah.
Actually, we only scored 12.
Yeah, I'll say they scored one more touchdown.
You did score, get in the end zone one more time than us.
And they held them to 30 less points than what we let them.
Exactly.
So good job, guys.
Good job. We got to give you credit for that. I do know their team has been showing up. And I don't mean like, I guess skill-wise as well, but not physically showing up. So, I mean, they have their entire team there. I know when they played us the first week, I think they only had 5 guys there.
I think they might have like 6 or something. But
yeah, so I mean, they're getting that chemistry that they need. So I'm honestly very nervous for them.
Yeah, and then plus like at least I gotta give a shout out to I don't remember his last name, Ashton. I think this was like the first week I saw Ashton play, and dude, that kid was just making plays left and right all over the field. So. He definitely brings a whole different dynamic to that offense for the Oilers, and he's definitely someone to watch out for in the next coming weeks. Because if we don't pick up some of the stuff that we need to work on, I mean, it could be a long day for us too.
Yeah, I know.
This is definitely not a team that you don't want to look past.
No,
stretch of means.
I think we got. I don't want to say lucky, but we got on them pretty early in week 1, and I think with our 2 slow starts in the beginning, this week, I think we just need to start fast. And just try and score as much as we can and finish those drives, or else, I mean, it will probably be a scary game for us.
Absolutely.
Because I think it will be a team that will probably take advantage. So, I mean, technically they have the easiest schedule remaining, playing the Chargers and then the 0-4 Chiefs. So both very winnable games for them. But moving on to the next team, we got the Patriots. So this team started out a little bit slow. I mean, dropping that ball to the Ravens team. I don't believe Kev was there that first game. But, I mean, ever since then, just picked it up. I mean, a complete 50-point turnaround heading into week 2 against the Oilers. Then dominating the Chiefs. And then, obviously, I don't want to say winning a close game against us because the score doesn't show that. But winning a competitive game against us. I mean, they have the hardest remaining schedule, playing the undefeated Chargers, and then the Ravens are no easy task either, with the amount of speed and skill that they have as well.
And they're definitely going to be hungry against that Ravens team.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm excited about these last 2 matchups for the Patriots. So.
I mean, It can't get much better. I mean, we'll look at. I'll go look at the who's favored in the week, but I doing the math on both of them. It's not much.
Yeah.
I mean, both of these games are pretty much coin flips, especially with Kev playing in both of them. I do believe Josh is out.
Josh is out, I think.
I do believe he did. There is been mixed reports as to whether he will play or not. I know there are a couple guys on both sides who are in that portal as well, but a significant piece. Maybe missing from that Chargers offense.
So Chargers might have a missing captain. Patriots, take notes. Take notes for the car Chargers.
Moving on to the Ravens. This team and the Crows. This team has just exploded. I mean, like I said, holding the Texans and Oilers both to 12 and 18 points respectively, especially in this league, especially in a flag football league that is offensively dominated. I mean, it's just wild. I mean, obviously beating the Patriots set a good tone for them, but dropping one of the Chargers kind of had to regroup. But I mean, Isaac has that team. He's got them. He's leading the charge on that one.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm not just saying that because he repped our game either, and he might rep future ones. But
Yeah.
no. I mean, he drafted a really good team. Obviously, Riley and his brothers on there are all athletes. Can all play both sides of the ball. But Isaac is just that sneaky good.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, tied for the fifth, hardest schedule, so second easiest remaining. So they got the Chiefs this week, and then the Patriots to finish up. Now, these guys and the Patriots are kind of a control your own destiny. So they went out first round bye, and I think they're sitting pretty. But if they were to drop one of these games, it could be a coin toss once we get to the playoffs. I know all teams make it, but really placing matters. Whether you want that first round bye or not, I know we can do the scrimmage to keep you kind of into it, keep you kind of, I don't want to say healthy, but
kind of keeps you moving.
It keeps you moving, not getting that week off. But it's definitely would be some much needed rest for some of these teams. So definitely excited for that last week 6 game. Will probably end up being the game of the week. But moving on to the last team where we go with the Texans.
Yeah, buddy.
Texans. So we started out pretty well. Started out 2-0. Kind of riding high. I know we only won 40-26 against the Chiefs, but dropping only 12 points and 26 points to the Ravens and Patriots does hurt.
Yeah.
So looking for a bounce back week against the Oilers. I know the Texans beat them week 1. Tied. They have the third hardest schedule remaining. Obviously, teams left are 4-4. So I mean that Chargers game at the end is going to tell you a lot about both teams. Whether they, especially if the Chargers are already kind of chilling at a playoff spot, or in a first round bye spot, but especially with our offense not firing on all cylinders, it'll be kind of interesting to see, and we'll see what kind of team we're going to be. I mean, our ceiling is 4-2, obviously. Still able to get that first round bye. I just need some things to happen, but could also end up on the flip side of 2-4. And kind of just playing to stay alive.
Yeah.
So, we're gonna have to put in some work. I mean, excited for both of these games. Like we said earlier, that Oilers game isn't gonna be a walk in the park whatsoever.
Especially if they have the full squad there, it's gonna be.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's gonna be. That game should be pretty fun to watch.
I'm excited for it. But I mean, that's going through all the teams. Looking at the favorites for this upcoming week. So you got the Ravens visiting the Chiefs this week, sitting at 18.5-point favorites. It's just that Ravens defense. I mean, they are just solid. I mean, if you're holding teams to 2-3 scores a game, so favored by 18.5. Then you got the Chargers and Patriots, only favored by 1.5 points. Chargers are only favored by 1.5 points. So it's that close. It's a coin flip.
Yeah.
So I mean, we'll see what happens there. Obviously, the Chargers are scoring a lot of points, but the Patriots do have that high-powered offense as well. So I think it'll be a high-scoring game, but Chargers favored by 1.5. And then that 4:30 slot, Texans hosting the Oilers, opened up at 6.5-point favorites. Like I said, I mean that's one touchdown. I think it'll be a close game. It will probably be a one.
Yeah, I'll say that looks pretty accurate.
But Chargers and Patriots game of the week this week, as voted by our peers. Say if you got anything for the game of the week. I mean, it's gonna be an exciting match.
Oh, I cannot wait. Especially if both squads all show up. I know we potentially might not have Josh there on that Chargers team, but I mean, like, man, if everyone can show up, that I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna watch that game from start to finish.
Oh, huh.
So I do have the Chargers covering though.
Yeah.
All right, but I think it's gonna be really competitive, and I'm excited to see what happens.
I mean, even with that Chargers offense, you got guys like Garrett too. I mean,
yeah,
he's a speedster. You can just throw him a jet, we'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we did that all the time when he was on my team the past couple seasons. Just kind of sat him in the backfield as a second option.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, they got some dudes on that team.
For sure.
So I don't want to hear no reports of me disrespecting the Chargers, especially when I put this screen on.
Right.
Here. So
like, come on, y'all.
So we have our first clinching scenario of the season. Chargers sitting at 4-0 can clinch a first round bye with a win over the Patriots this week.
Car Chargers.
Obviously, the team's really good.
No pressure, Car Chargers, but you need
pressure.
a win
No
if
pressure.
you want that first round bye.
I mean, if you get that first round bye, what do you do week 6? You're not resting players. I feel like you're going for 6 now.
Oh, for sure. I mean, if you're not going for an undefeated season, then like, what are you doing?
I mean, although the Texans do play the Chargers, so if you want to rest people, I'm all right with it.
Yeah. I'll say, yeah. Well, don't worry about that. Don't worry. We'll give you your first loss if that's what we need to do. But don't, by all means.
Like I said though earlier, so Chargers, the Patriots, and the Ravens all controlling their own destiny. I mean, they all play each other these last two games of the season. Chargers, like I said, with a win this week, clinch a first round bye. The Patriots and Ravens, if they win out, obviously clinching a first round bye as well. But if they all end up with one loss, it just goes to points. So how many points have you scored? Which Chargers have scored a lot.
A lot of points.
But Ravens aren't going to be far behind.
No, especially if they're holding people down with that defense that they have.
Exactly.
I'll say anything can happen.
Anything can happen. Then moving on to our last segment here, and then we'll talk just about everything. Making the championship game. The most important game of the season, obviously. So, we got percentages for you. These percentages are based on the remaining strength of schedule, so how many wins your remaining opponents have, wins and losses, and the strength of your potential playoff opponents. So, obviously, everybody makes the playoffs here. Seeding really just matters. So, seeding is very important, especially when you get to, I don't want to say necessarily the first and second seed, but that 3rd through 6th seed can determine
A lot.
Because, I mean, even if you're a 6th seed and you're playing a team that you have a shot against versus maybe a number 2 seed
Yeah.
that you have no shot against. I mean, you can get there just with the easier pass. So, Chargers and Ravens leading the way here. Both predicted mathematically, I want to say, not by opinion, to get these first two round buys. Chargers with a 58.3% chance of making that championship game. The Ravens following behind with a 50.2% chance, followed up by the Patriots with a 30.4% chance to make that championship game, and then you got the bottom 3. Texans with a 21.2%. Chiefs with a 19.9%, and then the Oilers following up with a 14.4% chance to make that championship game.
Yeah, buddy.
Now, I mean, looking at that bottom 3, it's all a 1 in 5 chance, which still isn't terrible odds when you are looking at everything. Obviously, the first 2 are coin flips.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I said, those first 3 teams are all playing each other this week, so these numbers are going to shift a lot.
Yeah.
So I mean, Oilers, like I said, you go 2 and 4 to end the season, it's gonna shoot up a decent amount. Might even get that 4 spot in that home playoff game. But I mean, I know me and Isaac kind of did predictions last week, unbiased predictions, I will say. So as of right now, I don't think my prediction has changed. I do think it'll be Chargers and Ravens, holding that 1 and 2 spot, and I do think they both will advance to the championship game. However, looking at points for, points against, I took the liberty upon myself to mathematically simulate the rest of the season. So, even coming into week 6, the Ravens are only 1 point favorites to the Patriots. Wow. As of right So both of these games for the Patriots, coin flips. So I mean, Patriots walk away with both. I'm not gonna lie, they're looking at a 70 to 80% chance of probably making that championship. I don't think there'd be anyone who could stop them. Minus that Texans team.
I want to say that Texans team. That Texans team is dangerous. That's all I'm gonna say. I mean, like their record might not show it. Had a bad couple weeks. We'll blame the rain. We'll blame the rain. I know everyone had to play in the rain, but I know. But you know what? Like it's different. All right. It just hit a little different during our game. I would argue that when we scored the 12 points, we probably had the heaviest amount of rain during that entire day. So I mean, like you don't know. All right. I mean, put a dry field out there. I think the Texans are the best team in this league. I mean, totally unbiased. Totally unbiased. I'm just kidding, y'all. Don't hate me too much, all right? I need to make this a little fun, all right?
No, but I know we've talked about the Oilers kind of being sneaky, and I think they are a sneaky good team. Mm-hmm. One team I've been talking about since the beginning is the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I mean, putting that team together. I mean, they only scored 36 and 26 respectively in the first 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. Follow that up with a 43 and 47 performance, which arguably could have been more in both aspects. But
yeah,
kind of going into this week as a heavy underdog to the Ravens. I mean, 3 touchdowns. But I just don't know what it is about. I don't know if it's because Dawson gave us that signed football after one of his touchdowns, which I wish.
Well, I still need that. I need that ball back. By the way, I don't know who took that away from me, but I need it back. So, anyone on the Chiefs with Dawson's signature on the football, yeah, I'm gonna need that back.
And I would say, I am gonna say Dawson. I do think is now in the category of a scrambling or running quarterback.
Oh.
And I'm not saying that just because he just juked me out in the scrimmage that we did this year.
Yeah.
Which I'm still playing in my nightmares over and over.
It's okay. It's all right. During one of the preseason games that we had at Springfield High, he got me good, and I like slid across the turf, and I said, "Oh, all right, that's cool. I'm just gonna keep sliding, I guess." So it is what it is, you know. It happens.
It happens, but I mean, looking at all this, looking at all the stats, looking at who's left, I need a unbiased MVP candidate. I kind of said last week that it was Riley. I didn't know if we were saying. I didn't know if I was going that just based off them killing us, basically. I would dare say even give me a top 2, top 3.
I'm gonna pull up the.
I mean, I can go. I still think Riley's up there.
I mean, you can never talk MVP and not mention the possibility of Joshua Nelson in that group.
I just would like to go on the record that Xavier mentioned him and not me. But I agree.
Yeah. Just trying.
I mean, there are a bunch of dudes on that Chiefs team. If they win out, I think could be potential.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they're all shifty. They're all fast. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think you got to put Kev in the conversation as well as J-Mo.
I think another one that's also really sneaky that no one really talks about too much, at least I haven't while listening to this podcast, is Vaughn from the Ravens.
Oh, yeah.
Number 5.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. He just bounces out there.
I tried to guard him during our game.
Yeah.
You can see how well that went.
Yeah. Well, anytime that dude jukes, he jukes 6 yards. It's away from you. It's crazy. I've never seen anything like it. So, I mean, his game is definitely, you have to respect it. And the fact that we have not mentioned his name yet on this podcast is kind of absurd.
Yeah,
so I'm going to be the one to do it. Vaughn, keep killing stuff, bro.
No, but I agree. I mean, there are a bunch of guys that I think could end up hitting that mark, honestly, from any team. But I don't know. I agree with that. Vaughn is up there. That whole Ravens offense in general.
Yeah.
I'll even dare say Isaac, because I think he has burned me a couple times when I didn't think he could.
And he's got that team pretty well meshed together.
They have a great team.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it might have taken them a game or two, but I mean, I don't want to say they're the favorites because I still think the Chargers are a slightly better team.
I think that we're only saying that just because they're undefeated too.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, they drop one game, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, but a lot of good stuff.
A lot of good stuff happening, but I mean, I know me and Isaac talked about this last week, but saying that this is, and we've talked about it before, this is probably the most skilled year that we've had.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
I mean, you line up against some of these guys, and you're just like, I don't know how I'm gonna guard him.
Oh yeah.
Or you're like, I'm not out jumping him in any aspect,
Mhm.
or I'm just gonna get mossed every play.
Yeah. I just kind of go into it like when it comes to defense, like I'm just like, you know what? 9 times out of 10, this guy's probably gonna be faster than me. But you know what? I'm still gonna give it my own. I'm gonna give it my best and see what happens. And sometimes it works.
So I'm definitely excited for the future of the league. I know we tried to get it to 8 teams, but I mean, obviously the 6 worked out as well. But I think 8 teams would be a sweet spot,
100%.
in my opinion. I know they would take away that first round bye.
Mm-hmm.
If you had all of the teams get in the playoffs, which I think they would still do. However, maybe there could be some incentive for, just being a good team.
Yeah.
I guess, rather than just getting an undefeated season. So
Right.
obviously, we can't really do a home field advantage.
Yeah.
But,
That would be sweet.
I mean, obviously, being the number 1 seed always is nice.
Yeah.
Not that I've ever touched it before, but one day.
I've held a 2 spot. I don't think I've held the top spot though. So
It's hard to do.
no.
So I hear.
What was it? The first season we started off the year 0-4 and then win the whole thing, which is still pretty wild to think about. So,
Right.
I mean, like it just goes to show you, like this whole league is always unpredictable. You never know what's gonna happen. Like who knows? Like the Chargers could just completely fall apart these last 2 weeks, and we never see it coming.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah.
I am interested to see if we do have those I guess, tied for 4th place teams in the offensive standings. So
Mhm.
where there's Texans and Chiefs all scoring 152 points. I am excited to see where they separate themselves.
Yeah.
Obviously, I know the Chiefs have been getting more and more points every week. So have the Oilers. And we've kind of dropped off as the Texans a little bit the past 2 weeks, but looking to get back into it. I don't want to say those top 3 are kind of secure. There might be a little shifting, but I mean, I know the Chargers have.
Them Texans are coming, boy.
I know the Chargers have that 33-point lead over the Patriots. Not that offensive or defensive standings truly matter, unless you come to a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
But I don't think there will be too much shifting. But I am excited to see where these bottom 3 teams kind of finish up, especially when you talk about defensive standings. I mean, the top 3 are the top 3, and the bottom 3 are the bottom 3 in both categories. So, especially with the Patriots holding the 2 spot in each one. Chargers and Ravens flipping, but it's going to be an exciting last 2 games of the season. I just think the placing isn't 100% set yet. Like we said, I know we kind of favor the Chargers just because they are undefeated, and I'm not taking any credit away from them. They are a great team, but I mean, it's not like they have a cupcake schedule.
No.
Which none of the teams do. Like I said,
I'll say
only having 16.
What was the strength of the remaining schedule for the Chargers?
Second.
Okay.
So they have the second hardest remaining.
Well, they're definitely dropping week 6. I mean, like
Against the Texans.
that's definitely happening. So, love y'all,
Love y'all. I do.
but y'all are going down.
I gave your guys' quarterback a shout out last week, but I mean, I do negotiate with every quarterback every week to throw me at least 2. No quarterback has taken it yet. I'm still waiting for the one. I do have some Doge going for them. If they
Some
want
Doge.
some Doge going for them, I'll bring them lunch one day, maybe.
I don't know. I can hook you up on crypto as well.
No, but it'll be interesting for the rest of the week to kind of see where the teams fall in place. But I need just unbiased opinion, and then we'll end it there. Who is your championship game right now?
Unbiased, completely unbiased opinion. All right. I mean, since I'm biased, I'm not gonna say us. I mean, I already said it earlier. So, if I were to pick two teams to make it other than the Texans, I guess it would have to be probably the Chargers. And dude, I really want to. Do the Ravens and the Patriots play at the end?
They did.
They play one more time.
I forget already. Yeah, because the Patriots they play week 6. They play week 16.
Whoever wins that game, will play against the Chargers in the championship game. That's my unbiased opinion.
I could agree with that.
So it just depends on how that second Ravens and Patriots game go, or Crows and Patties. Sorry, I forgot. I gave all your guys' team nicknames before I came here. So we got the Car Chargers, the Patties, the Crows, the Oil Rigs, the Chefs, and Who You Be Texan.
I like that. That's a good way to end.
That was a great way.
Appreciate you coming on, man.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Exactly. Excited to see what the rest of the week or rest of the season holds. We'll see
Yes,
what happens.
Yes, sir, baby. Texan up.